Well, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful people, and we made it. We got through it. We got through Monday, and it's now Tuesday. Well done. Congratulations, you're a hero. Little bit of housekeeping first of all, because look, there has been a lot of scammers in the comments. It's all over YouTube. It's something that you can't avoid. But look, I will never, ever contact someone through the comments of a video and say, you've won, contact me, telegram me, text me, contact me on WhatsApp, ever. Any winner of anything will be notified like this, face-to-face, through a video, through a live. Never any other way. So if you were contacted via comments asking me to contact you, it ain't me. Don't do it. Report the comment. That's that out of the way. Straight into the meat and potatoes. And what are we talking about today? We're talking about Buster Murdaugh again. God, Buster. You just can't keep out of the limelight. This damn Murdaugh family, they're all over it. I thought this would be a done deal, but it's not. There's plenty to talk about. As Buster Murdaugh hits back, gets a punching boxing gloves on and starts wading in with a heavy left. And what do I mean? I mean, look, surrounding this little bit of a pickle he's got himself in. We're going to touch on it very, very quickly. We're going to have a look. But I want you to hang around because I'm going to, later on in the video, I'm going to sort of touch on something that I think is very important because I don't know whether what is actually happened will even get answers. I don't think it will ever bring it a different conclusion. And I think that the likes of Buster and co likely knows that that's the case, and that's why they're quite calm and collected about it. So who are we talking about? What are we talking about? I hear you saying. This is what we're talking about. So we're talking about Stephen Smith. For those of you who have lived under a rock, you may not know what this is about. But Stephen Smith, he is a young man who was found on a road going back in 2015. And look, there was speculation surrounding connections between him and Buster, and it was actually Paul's ex-girlfriend who threw a little bit of shade during the Netflix documentary and said that there was a potential for there being a relationship between Buster and Stephen, and that relationship would not have been seen in a very good light in the Murdaugh family, and there is a potential that spurned into a catalyst for what happened to Stephen. And look, what I will say is we won't read all that. It's just, a lot of you have already seen it, and you'd prefer to look at me, and I don't blame you. But look, Stephen's mum has gone on to say in an interview that she doesn't believe that Buster Murdaugh done anything. She's not saying that Buster killed Stephen. Now, I will say this, I don't think it would be wise for her to have said anything else. I think she has potentially been advised not to say that publicly. They could basically say you're saying something that's not right, and I doubt she has the money to face that accusation should Buster want to attack someone for saying it. And he's made it very clear that there is a potential for it. I'll read the statement for those of you who haven't seen the statement. I've just flicked my light beside me on because it's controlled by my phone. Well done, phone. So look, this was his actual statement. I have tried my best to ignore the vicious rumours about my involvement in Stephen Smith's tragic death that continue to be published in the media as I grieve over the brutal murders of my mother and brother. I love them so much and miss them terribly. I haven't spoke up until now because I want to live a private life while I cope with their deaths and my father's incarceration. Before, during, and since my father's trial, I have been targeted and harassed by the media and followers of this story. This has gone on far too long. These baseless rumours of my involvement with Stephen and his death are false. I unequivocally deny any involvement in his death, and my heart goes out to the Smith family. I'm requesting that the media immediately stop publishing these defamatory comments and rumours about me. Or my kind of, what I say to that is that you're not going to stop people speculating. You're not going to stop people speculating on there being a potential for involvement of the Murdaugh family in this situation. It's just not. And I'll tell you why you won't, because so many people suffered at the hands of the Murdaughs. There's 99 cases pending against Alex. He's obviously himself said that he is appealing his trial and, appealing the results of his trial, which kind of, we saw that coming a mile off, but yes, that's happening. And then we've got what we saw in the Netflix documentary. We've also got recordings, that is listening to people such as Maggie when she called 911 when housekeeper Satterfield went flying through the air down some stairs. Just that call in itself, it gives you an insight into what type of people the Murdaugh family were. They felt that they are untouchable. They acted like they are untouchable. They were, for a long time, above the law. And look, with regards to Stephen Smith and this situation, it's a sad situation. And shade has been cast. And darkness will always, always come into the light eventually. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And when you remove the king of the family, the one who was on the throne, people are going to start coming out. I said it before. People are going to start coming out and they're going to start fighting the injustices that they faced. But I said I would give you an insight into why I don't think anything's going to happen in the Stephen Smith case. And sadly, it's this. It was a long time ago. We're going back to 2015. They're going to exhume his body, which we all know that this period of time, there isn't going to be a lot left in terms of what can be found out. There'll be a degree of stuff, but it's determining the difference between a beating and a car accident, the injuries sustained in being hit by a car. And what concerns me is you always hear when someone is beaten to death, so say someone dies at the hands of violence, there is so many times that we hear the phrase, the injuries were similar to that you would have expected in being hit by a car or being in a car accident. You don't really see someone being hit by a car and it being said the injuries were very similar to what we see when someone is beaten up. So I wonder whether the exhumation will be able to determine injury, not only the injuries that cause death, but to be able to differentiate between, say, being beaten with baseball bats, for argument's sake, or softball rackets, and being hit by a car. That's the thing, isn't it? If someone was banged hard round the head with a heavy object, how would an autopsy be able, this far down the track, be able to distinguish between being hit in the head with a heavy object and that object being a car, or that object being an aforementioned bat racket of some description? There lies the issue. And I don't know whether we'll be able to determine that. But I'm not an expert. Maybe something else will come up and they'll be able to see multiple injuries and they can say that they're not consistent. Obviously, they've seen many, many injuries caused by a road traffic accident. But I think I'm not going to hold my breath that this is going to bring justice. But look, it's got to be done. This family deserves to know what happened. And when you think that all of this has come about again based on information that was found during the search of the Moselle property, what did they find? What could they possibly have found that reinvigorated this case? There was obviously something there. Now, was it proof that indeed Buster had a relationship with Stephen? Is that what the information was? Was there documentation about bribes? Was there... I struggle to understand exactly what information was there that connected the Murdaughs with this specific situation. Let me know down below. What do you think it was? What did they find? And with what is happening over the next few weeks and months, will the Smith family finally get justice? Will they learn what happened? Will they be able to finally put this years-long saga to rest? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one.